Hello, and welcome to another Music Talk. Today is day 319 of me streaming every single day since I started this channel, and as you can see, there's no Jared. We have Tala, and we have Brightline, and we are doing, I think, episode 11 of Music Talk.
Oh, wow.
And because we have no Jared and Brightline's here, I thought it would only make sense to have Brightline talk about Brightline and talk about some of Brightline's music. So before we get into that, before we jump into that, Brightline, what have you been listening to lately? What's been on the docket?
I recently bought Flower Boy on record, so I've been leaning towards getting into rap a little bit more now, listening to it again because it's been a long time since I heard it. And I've also been hearing some Marina and the Diamonds, and some, and of course, B-52s still.
They're way better than I remember them being. They're way better. They're way better than I remember them being.
And all day I've just been hearing Wallows because they got a new Wallows album coming out at midnight.
Wallows album coming out at midnight. Whoa, wait. Oh, I think we have a Denzel Washington album coming out tonight, too.
Oh, man.
No, Denzel Curry, not Denzel Washington. I think we have a Denzel Curry album coming out. It'd be funny if it's Denzel. I think we have a Denzel Curry album coming out tonight. I think it's tonight. Oh, I hope it's tonight.
Or listen to that as well.
Oh, that's exciting. I forgot. Anything else before I completely cut you off?
Not really, no.
Not really. First off, Flower Boy, incredible album. Flower Boy, it's not my favorite, but it's probably my top 3 for Tyler. I think it's probably Call Me If You Get Lost, Wolf, and Flower Boy are probably the top 3. I think they're incredible. They showcase. Where's Jared? Jared is in a car driving home right now. He had a family member pass away. He went to their funeral. He's driving back. You know, life happens. And then it ends. But, Bancho, don't go anywhere, because we're going to have Brightline talking about his music here soon. So don't go anywhere, Bancho. Go get your military buddies and bring them back with you. Let them listen to some music talk. But, they're at points where you can tell that he realized what he was doing.
Yeah.
So, there was a culmination to Wolf, and that culmination was Bastard and Goblin. And there's great parts in Bastard and Goblin. And you kind of see a growth from both of those, and then a kind of combination of what he did well, and that's Wolf.
Yeah.
And then you have Cherry Bomb, which is kind of his transitionary album, and then you have the shift where Flower Boy just kind of comes out of it, you're like, oh, ooh, and it's kind of like a smoothed out version of the stuff in Cherry Bomb. I actually think Cherry Bomb's incredible. Then why didn't Brightline go, hey, don't you judge Brightline, all right? People have choices to make. We make them every day, and we live with the consequences ourselves. We don't need you pointing them out, all right? And then you have Call Me If You Get Lost, which I think is where you take what he learns from Wolf, what he learns from Flower Boy, and then what he learns from Igor, and he kind of mashes them together. It just feels like the culmination. Igor, I hate Igor, but I don't hate Igor. I don't like Igor. There's parts of it that are really beautiful and really interesting, and I think they stand out quite a bit. Miss Little and Stain, ho-hi, hi-ho.
Hey, ho-ho-ho.
How does Bridie over here sound?
Do I sound okay?
I think Bridie should sound fine. This is pretty close to the setup I've been using for my normal streams. We're talking into a little bit bigger of a space, but it should be pretty good. But yeah, Call Me If You Get Lost. You just kind of gets these nice elements that you see in Wolf, the good rapping. The rapping in Call Me If You Get Lost is probably his best rapping. His hook selection, his choruses, the way that he chooses to kind of layer albums together and layer songs together to make his album. It's pretty good.
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
I like top 3 tier list is definitely the same, but it's in a different order completely.
So
it's Flower Boy, Call Me If You Get Lost, and Wolf for me.
I'm gonna tell you something. That's legitimately probably my list. I just said the three of them. So Flower Boy has been my favorite Tyler album since it came out. But since Call Me If You Get Lost came out, I've kind of bounced back and forth between which one I like more. Wolf, I'm always going to love. Wolf came out just at the right point in my life to where it just affected me more than the other albums. So I'm always going to love Wolf. But, yeah, I think Flower Boy, November's my favorite Tyler song. Fucking love that song.
Flower Boy was definitely the Tyler album that got me it came me at the right time too. Which is why I like that album so much.
It's a good album.
Yeah.
It's a good album. Do you have a favorite track off of it?
I do.
What is it?
I like Pothole. I love that song.
That's a good one. It's not the most rap heavy, but it's probably one of his best rap deliveries on the album is Pothole. Oh man, that's oof. I love that album.
Maybe if we have time after we're done getting in depth about my music, we should rank our favorite Tyler songs.
Okay, we can do like a top 5
yeah.
on each. We can go. We can go through Tyler easy. Tyler will be easier for me than most people, just because Tyler has stayed in my regularly listened to musicians since Goblin came out. So how many years ago was that? It's over a decade.
Yeah, it's 11 years ago.
It's 11 years ago. So Tyler has been regularly listened to by me for 11 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, other people that we talk about on this channel, I haven't regularly listened to in like a decade. But I used to listen to them all the time. So it's kind of weird because I have to like think back and really consider and really go like, oh crap, what was that? I haven't even talked about what I've been listening to. So I've been listening to the album of the week for last week. We kind of chose to do this thing, and I'll talk about it in a second, because Jared isn't here, where we're not going to talk about album of the week yet. I listened to it like at least 6 times, if not more. I love Distant Relatives by Nas and Damian Marley, and I really want to hear what Brightline thinks of it more than anyone, and I really want to hear what Jared thinks about it after not listening to it for a while. That interests me a ton, but we're not talking about that yet. So I've been listening to that. I'm listening to what we're going to talk about for album of the week next week. I've listened to that a couple times. I'm not going to say it yet. And then I always fall back to this playlist that I have that has so many different albums in it, so many different songs, artists. It's just an amalgamation of a bunch of stuff, and I listen to that pretty damn regularly. I don't know how much access you have to my stuff, but if you have access to my Spotify, which you might, it's just titled Listen without any vowels, so it's LSTN, Listen. And I listen to it pretty much every day, at least while I'm driving. I listen to it on my way to work, on my way back home from work. Today, probably most days. I also heard an album by, what was the guy's name? It's something Shoulders. Something Shoulders. It's a current country musician. Don't play. I don't want you to play right now. Nick Shoulders. And you know what? It's pretty damn good. I also listen to a little bit of Iggy Pop. For some reason, this made me want to listen to Iggy Pop. Bob Dylan's first album had its 60th anniversary a couple days back.
Oh, yeah.
And so I listened to that bad boy twice. What a good fucking album. I think he was 19 when it came out.
Wow.
I think he was 19. He's 19 or 20 when it came out. The man's old. The man is old. The man's 80.
19 making an album that great. That's crazy.
Like, isn't that crazy to think
Yeah.
about? But he'd already been like traveling around, doing a bunch of stuff. I think he started traveling at like 16, 17. Crazy guy. Crazy guy, Bob Dylan. I've stated it once, I'll state it again, I'll say it over and over and over again. Bob Dylan, my favorite musician. I don't think he can be topped. I think he has to be one of the best, if not the best lyricist of all time. I think a lot of people will argue with me about that, and I will argue back. Fucking love Bob Dylan. I love Bob Dylan. So, Bob Dylan, Nick Shoulders. Go listen to Nick Shoulders. I listened to one album by him. Pretty interesting guy. My listen playlist, a little Iggy Pop, Distant Relatives. And then I also listen to what's going to be album of the week this upcoming week, because Jared isn't here to pick. It's Jared's week to pick. So we are going to make album of the week Watch the Throne by Jay-Z and Kanye West. And I think that this is going to be fun, because that means next week we get to compare a Nas collab album with a Jay-Z collab album. You have two of the greats in rap who had a very significant beef where they're both like, I'm the best, no, I'm the best, no, I'm the best. And we get to put two of their albums head to head. One, Distant Relatives, came out in 2010. Watch the Throne came out in 2011. They're similar, they're different. I think one is significantly better than the other. It's an interesting matchup, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to talk about it, and we'll probably be talking about that next week. And next week we'll probably be talking about Lou Reed as well. I think that's where it's gonna fall, right? I don't know.
That's the last month of this month, so that'll probably be all-time albums like this for like March. Okay.
Oh, okay. Then we'll talk about our all-time albums for March, and we'll talk about Jay-Z versus Nas. Something to talk about. Something beautiful to talk about. Everyone, let me know if you're excited that Jared isn't here. Let me know if you like it. Let me know what you think about Jared not being here. If you hate it, if you like it, if you this, if you that. I'm curious. I'm curious what everyone thinks. But are you ready to talk about your music?
I am so ready.
What do we want to start with the first thing that's on Spotify?
Let's go with the oldest album, Headspace.
Tala keeps popping in and out. She'll pop in and out the whole time. She gets mad that I'm not giving her pizza.
Headspace was the last album I made where I was in quarantine, and I was in like a very toxic relationship while recording this album, and it was just like, and it's like the last album I ever did that I didn't make any of the beats on. So.
Oh, you didn't make any of the beats on this one?
Nope, this one's like all the lyrics are mine, but none of the beats are mine.
Okay.
But yeah, so 2020 is where it's going to be kind of difficult, but let's do it.
Okay. So, what drove the album? Like, why did you make it? What was so bad about the break? You don't have to get into the details of it. That's your decision.
I was still in a relationship during this album, actually. Days of Sorrow and Regret's the one where that.
Yeah, fuck that bitch. Oh, all right. I don't know anything about this woman. I assume it's a woman.
Oh yeah. And the first track is a love song by her about her called My Everything. And
did you recently upload this, or was this already on Spotify?
It just started. Actually, this has been out for like obviously a while, but like I just recently put it on Spotify.
If I heard this a very long time ago. Like, this is not a recent listen for me.
But yeah, the first song, My Everything's a love song. It opens up with a dream I had about me trying to catch this dog.
Okay.
And then I like get into a depth about how I feel about this girl, and then so on, and that's pretty much what the whole song's about.
So you try to catch a dog. Is that something that actually happened, that you were trying to catch a dog?
It's not. It's actually just a dream I had.
Oh, you had a dream about catching a dog.
Yeah, it was actually a dog. It was actually Miss Lil Insane's dog, Bella.
Oh, we got a little Bella action stream. I think it's the first time Bella's been mentioned, to my knowledge, on stream. Maybe, no, she has to have been mentioned before. Yeah. Tala!
Come on, Tala!
She's old. She might not have heard me. Tala!
Just gotta show her your pizza. There you go.
She'll just try to eat the pizza and knock it on the couch with. She's like, give me that pizza, bro. Come here. Come on. The people wanted to see you, Tala. She's like, give me that pizza. Look at her. Look at her. Look at the confidence. She knows she's not allowed to have it, but she's old, so she's like, I can get away with it. Sit down. What are you doing? Hi. Yeah, I know.
Tala's so excited Jared's out here.
Yeah, Tala, I don't know if you can tell, but Tala does not like Jared. Tala's like, if you're not going to give me pizza, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Every time. See? She just wants to eat my pizza. Keep talking.
Well, that covers the first track, and the next song is Fate, where it's still about this girl, but like, there's like when we just started, it's about like when we reconnected for the first time in a while because we stopped talking because like she moved away and like we had like a really bad fallout.
Okay.
But it was like another chance. I'm okay, Fate did this, so let's see what I can do with this now. And I just wrote a whole song about the experience and what it was like being away from her and like going back to her, which is pretty much the song Fate's about.
Okay.
And Age of Sorrow is pretty much just kind of like what was going on at the time, like with like society and stuff like that. And it's like a lot of like kind of like a lot of stuff being taken over, but through electronics and stuff like that.
Okay. So this is like beginning of COVID, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Beginning of quarantine.
And that covers Age of Sorrow. And If Only is where I talk in depth about how the relationship with this girl was going, where it's like, okay, if only I knew what it's like to be her, because she was like a really damaged person, obviously. And I was like, yeah, I'm not happy, but I can try and make this work. So that's kind of what I talk about in If Only. And
So you're pining for this girl, you're trying to make things work, things aren't working out, and now like If Only is like if only you could make things work.
Yeah, if only I knew what it was like to be her, pretty much.
Okay.
I can understand her better.
Okay.
I mean, that makes her the way she is.
I mean there's some really good sentiment in that, in the fact that like one of the hardest things that I would say about relationships is the fact that you will never truly understand what it's like to be that person. Like you just can't. Like, I mean that's any relationship.
Yeah.
It's not just romantic or sexual relationships. It's also like friendships. It's any kind of relationship. And so to kind of do any grasping at that is quite introspective, because there's an introspective quality into trying to understand other people, which doesn't make sense directly, but I think if you think about it, it makes quite a bit of sense.
And S Note is kind of like what I wrote when I kind of like wanted to mess around with kind of like a hardcore sound.
Yeah.
And just like kind of do like screamo stuff like that, and like
Okay.
I was just kind of like experimenting a little bit, and like
Sick.
very melancholy lyrics to that song, and I was kind of just messing around with that song.
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and Alone in Our Room is where I wrote about this couple that I knew at the time, and who's still together, because they got still together, which is nice. But like,
Okay.
they were like kind of going through a rough patch at the time, and I like kind of put myself in their shoes and like the other person's, like the male's shoes,
Mm-hmm.
because like it was mostly the woman trying to kind of like making things like go off, and like I was just trying to like imagine what it was like to be this person, and I kind of like wrote a whole song about it, and like that's kind of what Alone in Our Room's about, because they were living together at the time too.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty messy.
Okay.
And Hazel Blue Eyes is about falling in love.
It's a great song. It's actually, I've heard this song before. Hazel Blue Eyes, I think it's my favorite on this one.
This is my favorite on this one too.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
It's actually like a good song.
I like wrote this song when it's about falling in love with like a model who like doesn't really know you, but like, and she like kind of like sells her body on the side, but like, and you want to like fix that and stuff like that.
Sounds like a Bruce Springsteen or Prince song.
And it's kind of like the experience of falling in love with this person. If only I could like help this person like realize what they're capable of, and
Mhm.
kind of like be in a relationship with them.
Help people realize the potential error in their ways and try to make them the best version of themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what Hazel Blue Eyes is about. Jane is about another person I knew, and which ties into Alone in Our Room, where
Okay.
this person like got out of the house, and like they like broke off. They took a break, but like I wrote this song about the other this person's like person they went to at the time,
Okay.
and they just, because I didn't like this person, because I knew both these people. I did
Yeah.
not like the person they went for,
Okay.
and
Went for that and like started dating, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure I understand your verbiage.
and
That was weird.
that's kind of what Jane's about, and like realizing like it's a big mistake, of what we threw away and stuff like that, and kind of like trying to like just be stuck. You're just like you're screwed now because you're stuck married to this person now.
Oh, they get married?
Yeah, in this storyline.
Oh, in the story, so-
yeah. They didn't actually get married in real life, thankfully. But like,
Thankfully.
yeah.
Thankfully.
But yeah, that's what Jane's about. And the virus is pretty self-explanatory. It's about COVID and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't remember the song.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pop punk like thing, or I kind of just like did a pop punk sound, kind of like Blink-182-esque.
Oh, you keep talking. I'm gonna listen to the virus.
It's pretty much just all about just COVID, and kind of like, which is actually really funny, because you can't really write about an experience you're dealing with at the same time while you're doing it. Of course, it is possible, but like
It's just, I mean, you can't really fully
It's a bit-
encapsulate it.
Yeah, it's a bit hard. Yeah.
This is the virus. Oh, wait, do I still have this set up? Keep talking.
And the virus just, yeah, it's pretty much about COVID, and that's pretty much what that's about. And then we got my last 4 tracks on Headspace, which is Locked, which is the only song I ever used kind of like an auto-tune thing with. And I didn't really quite know what I was writing when this is where it gets tricky, because I in my head at the time, I knew what I was writing, but now I'm just like, what was I writing? If you get that. And Locked is just kind of like, it's pretty much it. I was just kind of going for like a sad boy kind of thing. And a lot now, we're on Empty Girl, which is again about this the same girl who I was in a relationship with at the time, and yeah, as I discussed while talking about this album, she was pretty empty and pretty broken and kind of like just not meant for a relationship. But like I was just kind of explaining about how I used to fall in love with all the girls that kind of have some sort of broken path to them, and just kind of go in depth about that.
You want to fix somebody.
Yeah. And most of this album is about trying to fix the relationship I'm in, but obviously it's not possible. If it's a bad one at least, because this one was a really bad one. And Don't Go was another song I wrote about this girl. The last 3 songs where it gets very sad boy, Garden or Lil Peep influenced.
What do you think about Lil Peep?
I mean, he's good. He did a whole, kind of changed a whole rap thing in a way,
Okay.
which is kind of unique and I'm very respectful of. But I'm not really big on emo rap anymore like I was at the time. I used to be really into that stuff, hardcore. But
Yeah.
I can't get into that anymore. But yeah. The only kind of sad boy rap I still listen to, which is not really sad boy rap, it's more of a kind of a folky, hip folky R&B sound, where it's not quite sad, but it's still kind of sad. That's kind of hard to explain. His name's Garden.
Garden?
Yeah.
I don't think I know Garden.
Yeah, he was another emo rapper, but I wouldn't consider him an emo rapper.
Okay.
And so yeah, as we're talking about Don't Go.
And I'm listening to the virus.
Yeah. Don't Go is about the same girl, and I it's just kind of just telling her not, because she was very suicidal. She had very serious problems with stuff like that.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to tell her, it's kind of trying to convince her not to kill herself, but you can't really change something like that. Thankfully, she didn't kill herself, as far as I know. I haven't really talked to her in a few years, but last I checked, she was still alive. So.
Okay.
And that's what Don't Go is about. Note to Self is kind of well, before I talk about Note to Self, what do you think about the virus?
You know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I never want to shit on your music because we've talked about how. What's interesting about what you're doing is I want to get rid of this reacting thing. What's interesting about what you're doing is you're releasing music kind of as you progress, whereas a lot of musicians, they're building up to where they want to be, they don't put out any of their music. A lot of musicians have thousands of songs they don't put out, a lot. And you're releasing, it seems most of your music, right?
I still got some songs in the raps, but I'm not releasing. But yeah, I still
you put out most of your music.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So you have this quality where you're doing stuff where I get to see you grow, and I think that's very, very interesting. And so I didn't like it.
Ah, yeah.
But
I don't blame you.
I do like Hazel Blue Eyes. I think there's another song in here that I kind of like. I don't remember. I think it's Age of Sorrow. I think I kind of like.
Not gonna lie, I think this mixtape kind of falls apart after Jane.
I think you're probably right. but it's something where you got to play around, you got to make a full song, you got to make something, and then it's not good.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, and I think most musicians hide that music. And I understand that, but I think there's something kind of interesting and a little beautiful about just putting your crap out there and being like, hey, other people who are making music, maybe, even if you make something like this, you can get to wherever you get to.
Yeah.
And I think there's something really cool about that, because record labels and people are like, oh, get rid of that, scrub that crap, scrub it, get it out of here. And I get it, because they want an artist to seem like they've always been good,
Yeah.
like they're perfect. That's not how that works. It just is. It just can't be. That just can't be how that works.
That's that's the thing I like, being like kind of independent, like the freedom, the authenticity I have.
Authenticity.
I have of like just releasing whatever I want, whenever I want, and like.
I mean, it's cool. It's nice.
And just like kind of like you, it's kind of like my like listeners growing with me, which is nice. It's nice to think about.
Yeah.
And like that's why I enjoy doing it, and I'm still gonna continue to do it.
Okay. So let's talk about Note to Self.
Note to Self is a spoken word song where like I kind of like I'm like in a really bad place when I like make this song, and I kind of like just like, all right, whatever, what's everything. I'm not like looking for anything. I don't care anymore. I don't what is everything. I'm kind of just like giving up at this point, and I'm just like, okay, I'm looking for something I can just like fill the void, just to like make myself temporarily happy, but I'm not actually happy, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's kind of what Note to Self is like saying.
Okay, and now, as a whole, what did you think about that project?
Headspace. I mean, I liked it enough to put it on Spotify, which is pretty good. And
Okay.
because if I like really hate something, I'm not gonna put it on Spotify. Like my like
That's fair.
first mixtape, Valley, it has its moments, but like I really don't like that enough to put it on Spotify.
It's not. It's
I don't like it. It's the first mixtape I ever did, and it's just not that great.
It's
on SoundCloud if you want to listen to it, or Bandcamp, but I don't recommend it.
I also would not recommend it. So there's something to also like if I've listened to everything you put out. Unless you put out something fairly recently, and I haven't listened to that. You get to see there's elements that I can tell that you like that you then carry on to later stuff, and there's stuff you're like, oh, that's bad, and then you get rid of that. And your vocal quality and your recording quality are the things that have gotten better over time. And when you made a switch from using other people's beats and other people's sounds, and other people's background music into using your own, I actually think it was a step forward, because I think you get more control over it, which is nice. Thanks for the beanie, Brighty.
I'm gonna need that beanie back.
I'm gonna need that beanie back. All right. Now, on to
Days of Sorrow and Regret. This is the Breakup Mixtape, the last mixtape I ever did.
the Breakup Mixtape.
Where I was kind of just like experimenting with beats. This is the first time I started making my own beats with this album.
I feel like everyone has like a breakup album or breakup mixtape if they're like
Yeah.
a musician. Well, most.
I wrote this whole album after I left the good relationship that Headspace like kind of talks about. Where that's kind of what this whole album's about. Like every song's pretty much about this relationship. It's kind of like breakup obviously. But
Wait. Is this the one that's like has the big overarching story? Is that the next one?
No,
That's
that's the next one.
That's the next one. Okay. That's the one I really like.
Oh, that's why I love that one. Yeah. Days of Sorrow and Regret. Now let's get into this. You know, this album used to have 15 tracks, but I re-recorded it for my upcoming album, which is Industry, and the one I already released, but it's already on YouTube. I used to have it on Spotify. It's like The Awakening, So It Goes. It's the last song in Act 5.
You keep switching stuff around, so I don't know where anything is anymore. I don't know where to listen to it. I'm not savvy enough to follow a music tree. I don't get it. I'm an old man.
But now let's start with Days of Sorrow and Regret. Let's go. You and I, the first track.
You and I. First track of Days and Sorrow and Regret by Bright Blind. Right there.
This one I'm trying to kind of go for a lo-fi, like Kurt Vile kind of sound with this track.
Okay. A little Kurt Vile.
And the song is like kind of about obviously what a relationship was like, just reflecting on the relationship for the most part, and like kind of just like saying what it was like. That's pretty much what you and I. That's kind of like the intro to the whole album. Like it's kind of like opening your eyes to what you're like gonna expect.
So as it looks like, it's the introduction track that gives you a taste of what people are gonna listen to.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, Miss Little's. I said it right. Miss Little saying, "Watch me mixtape."
Oh, yeah.
LOL. What does that mean?
Oh, that's like a mixtape by Ronnie Radke, and it was like a joke I like made when I was 13. Like, or like my dad was like, "You're not gonna get a monster," and he's like, I'm like, "Watch me mixtape," and yeah, it's like been an inside joke a little bit. Yeah, it's really stupid, but it's pretty funny still.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I still laugh at it. It's still really funny. All right. So, Make Me Forget, kind of next track.
Track 2.
I'm kind of like just kind of like combining like sounds with this one, kind of like combining different kind of like genres in one song. Like,
what are the genres you're
to the best I can. There's no sound.
There's no sound? What?
Where'd the sound go?
It's showing sound! Like, at all?
'Cause I know when you're around.
Like, you can't hear us at all. Why would there be no sound?
That's weird.
What? I don't know what to do. It's showing. I said, what? Mute it. Bring it back. Mute it. Bring it back. No sound at all?
I'm gonna see if I can listen on my
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good idea. Let me. Yeah. Let's just steal these guys. Steal them out. Steal them out.
Oh no, there's sound.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Probably it might just be the television.
Yeah.
Oh, fixed it.
All right.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. Back to Days of Sorrow and Regret. Okay, we're on track 2. Make Me Forget.
Make me.
All right.
So what genres are you mashing on here? Because you said you were kind of mashing genres.
I'm like kind of like mashing like lo-fi hip hop with like
Okay.
with kind of like an authentic not quite authentic but like EDM like rap sound.
Okay.
With like some like sounds like
Lo-fi hip hop, EDM rap, and what else?
and like just some sound, just like
A little sound,
like
okay,
ambient
okay.
sounds like weather and stuff like that. I'm just
Okay.
combining that all in this song. It's actually my longest song currently released right now too. 8 minutes.
Oh,
and 1
I
second.
know this song.
Yeah.
In this song, is there a lot of you just going, "Make me forget,
Yeah.
make me forget," but like sing talk different things?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I remember this one. It's
Yeah.
been a bit, but I remember it.
The song is just kind of like about me wanting to forget the relationship, and like it's like I don't want to relive that again. I don't want to go through that again, and like just make me forget. Pretty much, I like say that over and over again towards the end of the song because I'm trying to like paint the picture of how like traumatized the relationship was for me,
Okay.
and yeah, that's pretty much what Make Me Forget is.
I actually like this song a lot. I'm a big fan of long cuts. So there was that Iggy Pop album that I think you also liked where it only had 4 tracks. Each track was like 7 to 10 minutes long.
Tea Time Dub Encounters.
And I like it when instead of having like the confines of like a song supposed to be 3 to 5 minutes, like you can make it really short or you can make it super long. It's the reasons why I like psychedelic music and the reasons that I like punk, because they kind of like revolutionize the fact that you can go, hey man, I want a long song.
Yeah.
Like I want a long song. Like the fact that there are like Grateful Dead recordings where there's one song that's like 45 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it's super dope because have you ever listened to any albums where the whole album is just one song?
Oh yeah, definitely. Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull was like a good example.
Great. They're great. I like that there's no constraint because it emphasizes the fact that it's supposed to be listened to as a whole. Where I think a lot of times with albums, the whole reason that it's not one track is so that you can sell it on the radio and it's easier. Like, oh, that's my favorite song on the album, or that's like it makes it a little bit easier for people to absorb it bit by bit. Where I've always listened to, or at least attempted to listen to music by the album.
Oh yeah.
And so there's something about having it to where one song is 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, 25. I don't care what it is. That's really interesting to me because you get to play with all of the ideas you want for that one concept without feeling constrained. Like, oh, it only has to be 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And it makes it easy to throw in stuff like chanting and throw in stuff like a little noise music and do little switch ups and genre changes that are pretty interesting. Sorry about that segue. Keep talking about it.
Well, that's pretty much could make me forget about. I covered that song. Yeah.
Now on track 3.
Tell me. All right. This is where I go in depth about a relationship again, but like I kind of did with it only, but this one's like different because it's like kind of like deeper into a relationship kind of, and I'm like this like where I'm like talking. It's kind of like about a conversation, pretty much, kind of like the Mac Miller song "Conversation" Part 1.
Not well, but I know it. It's somewhere in here.
It's influenced by that song and
what album is that off of?
Swimming.
Oh no, then I know it quite well.
And
yeah, no, I know it.
I just kind of like talk about like our conversations we had and like how like she always talked about how she like slept around a lot and like what she did and like what's gonna happen and like how,
wait. Well, was this while you were in a relationship with her? She was like, I'm cheating on you.
No, she just I mean, she did cheat on me, but no, she's talking about her past relationship experiences to me.
Oh, she would talk to you about how
her
in her other relationships,
her past sexual
she would sleep around while in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, you were young, I get it, but that's a huge red flag, my man. That's a crazy big red flag.
Definitely know that now, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, whoa. Whoa! That's a red fucking flag. That's a rojo flag. Wow. Crazy. All right, keep going.
And she like always, it's like kind of like talking about how she like kind of like always compared me to her ex, pretty much, which is another
way worse.
Yeah.
That kicks that red flag up to Tupac. Like it's like that high, man. That's messed up. All right, continue. All right.
That's pretty much what Tell Me is like talking about. I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know this already, but like, I'm still gonna care for you. I'm still gonna love you. I don't care. Like I said, this was a toxic relationship, a very toxic relationship.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Oh, jeez. Jeezy Louise.
And
wow, I mean, yeah, Miss Lynn's saying, yeah, fuck her. That's right. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
All right. Keep talking.
But yeah, that's what Tell Me is about. Now, the next track is the title track, which, fun fact, used to be called No Title because back with the system I was using called Amuse, shout out to Amuse for helping me get my music on Spotify, but like,
come here.
This kind of like, since like, this was originally called No Title, remember? Yeah.
What is it called now?
Days of Sorrow and Regret, it's a title track.
Oh, okay.
Back when I was using I'm still using Amuse because I helps me put my music on Spotify with my label and stuff like that, but like, this song is like, I couldn't have a title track. So I couldn't put the title track with the name because like it was like a thing in things. Oh, you can't have it the same name as the title, which is kind of lame. So I just called it No Title. But like they fixed that now, so I just renamed it Days of Sorrow and Regret.
Okay.
Where I fixed the album art and everything.
Okay.
But, like, yeah.
Was the album art messed up too?
Oh no, I was just the wrong album art. Kind of like it was like I like had green hair at the time recording this album. I wanted to make it like so I was like kind of like painted green hair on like a bad picture of me and like it was a really bad cover. Okay. So I like changed it and fixed it up.
Wait, was it the one on the bench or am I still thinking of that?
It was the one on the bench.
I liked that one, man. I thought it was a good cover.
I mean, it was good if my hair was actually green at the time. I was like painted green on it, so which kind of like ruined it. So I didn't like that.
Cool. I thought it was cool.
And now this song is still kind of like talking about how bad the relationship is, and just pretty much establishing what happened with the first 3 songs. Pretty much what Days of Sorrow and Regret about.
So it's about the days of sorrow and regret.
Yeah.
It is about what it's about.
Yeah.
It's a good title, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's track 4. Track 5, What If.
So this isn't about the Marvel What If, right? Like this has nothing to do if like T'Challa hung out with Iron Man.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it's nothing to do with that.
No,
right?
That song's really depressing.
Okay. Okay.
What if I wrote like kind of like after the breakup, where I was like kind of like feeling like really shitty and like, oh man, I was just like very depressed and stuff like that. And I'm just like trying to like hang out with people and stuff like that, but everyone's always so busy. I'm just like, whatever, I can't do anything. I'm like, everyone's always busy. I can't hang out with anyone. Like, what's the point of my life right now?
Okay.
And I'm trying to like, and it's like the question about the thing that what if is like, what if I died? What would everyone's reaction be?
Ooh, a little what is that movie? What's the classic Christmas tale? Oh, it's the Scrooge thing, but it's also in. Dude, I can't think right now. The Christmas movie everyone knows. Jared was in a play about this.
Oh, it was It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life song. Okay, what
Yeah.
if it's a Wonderful Life song?
Yeah, and like, I'm just like very curious what everyone would think, and that's pretty much what like I'm asking. I'm like, my life is useless. What would happen if I did just die?
That's
much
pretty
what it
fucking
is.
dark, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking dark.
I wrote this whole album in a very dark place, and that's what track 5's about.
All right. Woo! Dark Place. What if track 5?
Every Day Is the Same is kind of like another fresh breakup song where I'm just like nothing. Well, I'm kind of like everything's the same. I'm kind of bored of everything. Like I don't get anything anymore. I'm like kind of like don't want to get out of bed anymore. What's the point? I'm just gonna get up and do the same stuff. There's like no point to that. Oh
Whoa!
yeah!
Miss Insane 2-month subs.
Heck
Right!
yes!
Fuck yeah!
Hecka yes so.
Number 1 sub in the house, Miss Lil Insane. Get fucked, thief. Boom.
Yeah.
He also got a Pikachu.
Alright, back on Every Day Is the Same. I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to get out of bed. What's the point of everything if I'm just going to do the same stuff? Because, like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just, like, not in a good mood. Like, every day is, like, the same, pretty much. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty much what that song's about. Just, yeah.
I like how raw this is. It's a very raw album, and it's coming from a very raw place. There's a number of critiques I can make, but it's very raw, and that's what I like the most about it. And I like that you're willing to talk about this, because I think this is important to be a good musician, is to be willing to talk about your shit. And this is an album of shit. Thief does sometimes. I think that Thief is typically at work when I'm streaming. Like, I think that I stream at the worst time for Thief to watch. Alright, keep talking. No, don't let
Well, that establishes track 6. Alright. Track 7, Nothing Will Change, is, I wrote this song and recorded it the same day. I broke off everything.
Okay. You wrote and recorded this that day?
Yeah, the same day. And I just got done crying, stuff like that. And it was pretty messy. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna write a song and record it anyways because I could do this. Because I'm like, I gotta know what I was feeling when I'm making this album. When I wrote the song and recorded it, so I kind of did that. And Nothing Will Change is just kind of like, well, I just broke up with somebody, so, and now I'm sad. Now I'm just gonna cry myself to sleep, and there's gonna be no ending with this relationship. There's no helping this relationship. It's not gonna change. Like, so I might as well just give up on this relationship entirely. That's pretty much what Nothing Will Change.
I definitely am going to need to listen to the stuff again after like being here when you talk about it, because I've never actually talked to you about like almost any of this. Like I don't have I ever really talked to you about the meaning behind any of your music?
No,
not really.
no.
I think I've asked you random things about tracks, but nothing in detail at all. So I'm definitely going to have to sit down and listen to this. On Nothing Will Change, it shows features of Low Key Lena and Sleepless Boy.
Oh yeah, Low Key. This is one of the few beats I did not make on this album. So,
oh, okay.
And like it has like a slowed down verse from Low Key Lena, so I added her as a quote. And the person who like made the beat is Sleepless Boy, so I tagged him.
Sleepless Boy. Sleepless Boy sounds like a name that you would have picked for yourself. It also sounds like something I would also pick for myself. With the fact that I sleep like garbage always. Always bad. Sleep's never good for Sleepless Boy. I'm not a Sleepless Boy, by the way. I didn't make this beat. Okay, keep talking about it.
But, yeah, that's pretty much what... That just covers the first half of the album.
First half of the album.
Man.
I almost got you a gift when this came out. I almost, for Christmas, got this printed on record for you.
Oh, man,
on
that
vinyl.
would be great. Yeah.
But to do it, I had to order like 300.
Oh, yeah.
I had to order a lot. And I didn't have enough money to order you like 300 records.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been insane. Okay.
Care is the next track on the record where I kind of like talk about how like, all right, this relationship was bad, but I still care about this person, forgive them for like what they did, because I'm like usually it's kind of like me accepting like how bad a relationship was. And,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, all right, this person was like in a bad place and they're dating me, so they don't deserve this, and like kind of like just me like kind of accepting it and just like saying, yep, I still care about this person. I'm not gonna talk to them again, but I still care about them.
You know what, Bridie? These are some weirdly mature ways of thinking about things that are actually shocking to me, and I didn't fully pick up on that when listening to this album. I've listened to this album a number of times, actually. I like that a lot. I like that there's maturity in this. No. There's a difference between making excuses for toxic people and still caring about the well-being of those people. So there's a lot of horrible people. Like, I think we all know shitty people.
Yeah.
Like, I have plenty of shitty people in my family. And I love my family. I love the members of my family. I actually love most people. People do shitty things. I don't love the shitty things that they do, but I still love those people. And I think there's a distinction between that can be hard. And I think the way that you're looking at it and the way you're talking about it is actually quite mature. I don't want to shit on your hate for toxic people.
Yeah.
Fuck toxic people. But there's still something good inside. And if you have a real relationship with a person, you want the best for that person, I think, no matter what. Unless they like really do something absolutely horrendous, which I think very few things, at least for me, hit that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a fun fact about this person. Actually, I forgot to mention it. It's actually I actually mentioned it in one of the songs. Actually.
Fun fact. Okay.
The song, it's either like "Days of Sorrow and Regret" or "Tell Me," where I talk about how this person like killed themselves or like tried to kill themselves on a relationship with me. Like,
okay.
And I was like trying to reach out all day, and they got no response. And like it was like late at night, like, oh, I tried to kill myself and swallow these pills and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's pretty shitty.
Yeah, and I was like,
pretty
well,
shitty.
That's pretty. It's mentioned in one of those songs, but yeah, there's that random fact right there about that.
I always wonder, so I don't want to derail you, and I don't want to derail you, Miss Lil Insane, but when people have trauma, they often try to trauma bond, so they try to find other people who have trauma, and then they try to be like, hey man, be shitty with me, because this is what I'm doing to deal with my trauma, so you should also do shitty things to deal with your trauma. And I think that's really awful, but it's extremely common, and I think it's why you see people like this that in their relationship are like, hey, I'm going to kill myself. Hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, I'm going to go fuck another dude. Stuff like that. That's not healthy. That's very negative, and I think it's a part of trauma bonding, which isn't a healthy thing, but it kind of helps to understand it a little bit more. Keep talking, Brady.
Well, now
I didn't think we would get into this.
This is where we derail from the relationship and kind of like talk about like the stuff that happened like during the relationship and kind of like stuff like that. The song "Comfortable." Oh, this one's an interesting one. I'm normally very faithful. I don't like to cheat. I refuse to cheat. I wouldn't be cheating if I was in a good relationship and someone tried to tempt me. I would not do it.
Only a good one.
Yeah. Alright, "Comfortable" is about me like hanging out with this girl who I'm like very comfortable with, hence the title, and like I'm just like kind of like have a comfortable silence. I'm just like, this is really nice to be with this person. I feel good, but I'm like in a relationship still. I'm in this relationship still, and like how I talk about how I like how I think about cheating on this person because it's a really bad relationship. And, with this person specifically, because I really like this person, because this person helps me feel warm and comfortable.
Okay.
And that's kind of like what I talk about in "Comfortable." I'm like, yeah, I'm very comfortable around you, so I cheat on my toxic girlfriend for you.
Okay, so it's an imaginary realm where you talk about essentially, not necessarily falling in love, but something similar to it, to where you have this negative thing that you want to make work, but this other thing's just nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what "Comfortable's about. And
this is technically Brady's first interview.
Yeah.
I'm not really interviewing him. I'm just having him go through his stuff, and I'm just kind of like talking to him
track
about
by track
stuff.
commentary.
It's close to an interview. If we want, we can set up 2 chairs and do like an interview. I'm like, so what made you feel like this? I'd have to re-listen to stuff. I'd have to have notes. I'd have to do a whole thing. But if you ever want to, if you want to do it before you release an album, we can do that. That'd be fun.
Ooh, I'd be open to do that before I release my new album, actually.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd be into it. Okay, keep.
Now, Feel So Free is about a dream I had about this. It's like a very nice dream. It's like a very like romantic dream about this like lady I meet while I'm working. It was like I'm like working at like a. In this dream, I'm working at like a business place where like kind of like an office kind of.
An office. Okay.
And I like bumped into this person like leaving work, and like I was like, well, hey, what's up? And like, we kind of like get to talking, and it was like, and I feel great. And then we talked. Then it talks about how we hung out that day, and like how it was just pretty much a nice dream. It's pretty much what Feel So Free is about.
So comfortable. So these are all kind of you looking to break away from the negativity of the relationship with. Like fantasizing about things.
Pretty much.
Like fantasizing with things that wouldn't happen, but that like you would almost be okay with happening because of the negativity in the relationship, even though it's outside of who you view yourself as.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When it's right now. This song is where I'm like, okay, I just left this relationship. I got done crying and like I'm done with everything, but like I'm like not ready for a relationship now, and I know this because it's a very bad relationship. I got to work on myself a little bit. So
yeah.
I'm like, I'll like you, but you need to like, give me a chance to actually warm up to you and like speak to you when it's right. Obviously,
yeah.
I've just got a really bad relationship, so it's not good for me to just like fall into something else.
Okay.
That's pretty much what When It's Right's about.
Again, weirdly healthy viewpoint that I wouldn't expect. Real men do cry.
Yes.
Real men cry like a motherfucker. I don't know if I've talked about this on stream. I fully support cry songs. I fully support cry films. And if you don't know what a cry song is, it's a song that for some reason hits a string somewhere in here and you start bawling like a bitch. One of my cry songs that has to have come up on stream is Terry's Song by Bruce Springsteen. Shit hits me every single time.
Great song right there.
Such a good fucking song. It's my favorite Bruce Springsteen song. It's probably because it's one of my top cry songs. There's a number of other ones. That one is the one that works the best. Forrest Gump is a cry film for me. I love Forrest Gump. Everyone needs to have cry movies,
I have
shows.
plenty of cry films.
Dude, you know the episode of Futurama?
Yeah.
Where Fry has his dog?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I
cry
in that
like
episode
a
too.
bitch.
Yeah.
The episode with his nephew.
Yeah.
So then there's the other episode with his brother where he like goes and he's trying to find his old stuff.
Yeah.
And it shows flashbacks to his brother, and then he finds out.
Oh
like,
man, that episode. Yeah.
Fuck. Whoa! Every time it gets me thinking about it. It's making me weirdly sad. Woo! Real men do cry. Men who don't cry are pussy ass bitches. Get fucked. Men who don't cry. I mean that. If you find out who I really am, if you find out my true identity, I mean everything I say about men crying. Okay, keep going.
One of my cry movies is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Dude,
That movie.
I think I don't watch that movie because I think I'll just cry the whole time.
That movie messed me up. It's man, I love that movie.
Mr. Nobody is another cry film for me. If you haven't seen Mr. Nobody,
I own it, but I haven't seen it.
You own Mr. Nobody and you haven't seen it? I think it's one of Jared Leto's best films. It's a little campy. It's a little weird. It's a little like shitty sci-fi, but like the sentiment of it, it'll get you.
All right.
It'll get you.
Back on the album.
Back to the music.
We're on Sunshine, Paper Doll. This is actually my favorite on the album.
This is another good one.
One of my favorites, and it's probably the one I hear the most, like on rotation when it comes on shuffle on this album. Because I love this song actually, and this song is like kind of like another dream song, where I'm like kind of like, and like I'm kind of like reflecting on my childhood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to like fall in love. I like know this girl. Oh, To Write Love in Her Arms is such a good movie.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I love that movie.
To Write Love on Her Arms. Okay.
But
I'll
yeah.
check it out.
All right, back on Sunshine, Paper Doll.
Keep going.
I'm just like kind of like it's about like kind of like falling in love with a childhood like friend, like it's female.
Okay.
You're really close to, and you're just like, what?
Keep going. Who's female?
Yeah, the way I worded that. But yeah, I'm just like falling in love with them, and I'm like, I've known you my whole life, but like, I'm kind of like catching feelings for you now all of a sudden.
Okay.
And I'd like to like get married to you, like grow old together, but cause I'm like so close to you, like know everything about you, so like I think you're perfect for me. That's pretty much what Sunshine Paper Doll's about.
There's something that's really powerful about this, and it's something that's like you see it a lot in film and in TV and stuff, and it's the ideal thing where you had like a friendship relationship with someone from a young age, and it's something that doesn't work that often. But there's something really beautiful about knowing someone to that level, and it's hard to find, and it becomes harder to find the older you get, I think.
Yeah.
I truly think so. And so there's something about like fantasizing about that's very realistic and beautiful, and it's probably been done in film after film after film, and probably in song after song after song. This is one of your best tracks in all of the stuff that you've released so far.
Yeah, definitely my favorites. And then like cuts through like kind of like a whole different switch. It's the story switches up a little bit. Then I'm like talking about the relationship again because I'm like thinking about that again. It's like,
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done with you. I don't want you back because I have this person now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what that song's about. So that covers that song. And Paper Doll I got from John Mayer. Paper Doll. Fun
Really?
fact, yeah.
Do you remember back when you hated John Mayer? Oh, John Mayer. Oh, John Mayer. John Mayer, I don't know if he's under or overrated. I feel like he sits in a good place.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who shit on him, and I get that, and there's people who love him, and I get that. John Mayer is great. And if you're a dude who's like, John Mayer's for chicks, and that's it. Again, get fucked. You're wrong. John Mayer's for anyone who likes good music. That's what John Mayer's for.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Today, now, this song is kind of like an acceptance song where I'm actually feeling happy again. Where I'm like all good. Like, okay, I'm happy again. I'm like done with this relationship. I got to know I'm like knowing myself now, and I feel very comfortable with myself. I'm just like very happy. Like every day I wake up, and I'm just like kind of like I'm just like in a place of like bliss.
Yeah.
That's what today's about.
So today is about living in the present and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I think it's something that there's a lot of music and media about it, but I'm curious how many people actually do it, because I think it's a hard thing to do, and I think it's something we should all strive to do, and I think there's something beautiful in that. And I think you will almost always get the things that you want out of just doing that, because in the present is where reality exists.
Yep.
I get way too far into a lot of shit. So if people in chat who are hanging out are like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Chime in, tell me. Shit on me. I don't care. Okay.
Underneath My Childhood Tree now.
This actually I think is my favorite
This
song.
is the only song I made a video for actually too.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
The video's kind of weird. I don't hate it. I don't like it. I don't know how to feel about it.
It's just-
I love the song though.
It's just old childhood footage of me, pretty much. That's pretty much the video is.
Okay.
Kind of goes with the song, I think, though. The song's about it's kind of like reflecting on your childhood and how you're wanting to be a kid again almost, but not quite. If that makes sense. But,
Yeah.
and you're just like, man, it's nice just sometimes just like go back to the past and just think about your childhood and just like relive those days. It'd be nice to kind of like experience that all over again. And just that's pretty much what Underneath My Childhood Tree is about.
Okay. So as a whole, I think this is one of your better projects, and I think that it's more cohesive. You're still playing around with your sound a lot in this album.
Yeah.
There's not like a cohesive sound from end to end, but like I think the sounds that you choose are very like reflexive of like the emotions that you're trying to represent, and I think you actually do a pretty good job about that. There's some like quality issues where like you can tell it's not quite there yet, and my favorites by far are Make Me Forget, Sunshine Paper Doll, and Underneath My Childhood Tree. I think that they're good. This was the first project of yours that I listened to that I was like, you know what, I would actually enjoy listening to this again. There's definitely some tracks I would skip. Like I think that like I don't really care about What If that much. Like as a song, Feels So Free I don't remember liking that much. It's been a while, so I'd have to re-listen to it to really have like a strong opinion on it. But what do you think of this album as a whole? What are your thoughts on this?
I've rated it probably about a 6 out of 10.
Where 6 out of
10?
It's
like strong, but it's not quite like great, but it's like it has like some really good moments. My favorites from the album are probably Sunshine Paper Doll, Underneath My Childhood Tree, Tell Me, and What If. Those are my favorites.
Okay.
All right, now we're on the visual album, Love Letters from Emerald Electric.
Okay, so before we get into this, you released this as like 5 albums or something weird?
It was breakdown to 5 acts, yeah.
It was 5 acts originally. It was 5 acts that you released, I think, each on Spotify. And I would listen to them as they came out. And they came out like every once a month or every 2 months or something like that.
Yeah, every 2 months, yeah.
And what happened to them? Did you take them off all streaming things? Are they all gone? Did you just condense it down to this?
I condensed it down to this. Could be a lot easier. Kind of like the like outline of Spotify that much because like I'm just like I don't like that. So I kind of like just condensed it to like make things easier for a lot of people because a lot of people don't want to listen to over 2 hours of like Brett. I mean, I like to. But I mean,
all right, whatever. It's interesting because here I feel like you start to become like get more of a sound. Like it's not so much you playing around as much. Like you still are. Let's be honest, you still are. But this is a story driven album. Yep. Like there's a story from end to end, and even in the 5 parts, like it still felt cohesive. And I think that you did something really interesting when you condensed it down. Because I remember you released the 5 parts, and then I think you released this. This might be a re-release. I don't remember. And I think this does a better job than the 5 do. Yeah. But I think the 5 themselves are still better than like your earlier stuff. Like they're all better. Like each piece was better than your early mixtapes.
The 5 are still on YouTube Music. That's about it, though. That's the only.
Don't use YouTube.
That's the only thing they're on.
I don't like that there's such a thing as YouTube Music. I don't know why it bothers me, but it really pisses me off.
The reason why one of the main reasons why I actually condensed it, because I actually wanted to make a whole film about this project, but like I obviously didn't have the equipment and the cast to do so.
Yeah.
So I kind of like was like, all right, I'll break it down because I don't want to like.
How many people would you need? I don't think you need that many. Like 3.
Probably like 3, but I also. Yeah, probably like 3, yeah.
I would assume you would play the main character.
I play Emerald Electric, obviously. And
okay.
Then I get a girl to play Clarity.
Yeah.
And I would probably need like somebody else for like manager stuff because like Emerald Electric's a musician, obviously. So
have Jared be your manager.
Yeah, and
put some glasses on his face. Hilarious.
I'll need like a really good camera and like a good set for like each scene because each song represents a different scene.
Okay, so I would need to know where most things take place, but we could probably make you like a short film. Like the camera I have, this bad boy would be probably more than good enough. I'd need to get a pretty decent sized card to make it work, but we could probably use that, and then I find some lady. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't think Cobra would work. You'd want someone like around your age, I think.
Someone I actually know personally.
That would make it easier. Yeah. And then if Jared, Jared has acting experience, which is a funny sentence. But Jared has acting experience. I think that would be interesting. Oh, should I be the manager? Oh, I would love to be the manager. I am a big white guy, and a lot of managers are just big white guys. I do also have a lot of clothes that look like something a manager would wear. I also work as an office manager I work as a manager in an office, so I just like the idea of Jared doing it. I don't know why. I think it's funny. Maybe we could just have him do something else. I'm down. I more so just want to record it. So like I want to be the person behind the camera.
Yeah.
But it's something to talk about. Okay. So Love Letters from Emerald Electric. It's about someone named Emerald.
I'm going to explain the story behind this album before I talk about each song.
Right. Okay, please, let's get into it. Just get into it.
The story behind this album is where Emerald Electric is just an ordinary guy at first who like falls in love with a girl and who he works with.
Okay.
And, he does everything he can to get to be with her, and until eventually he caves and he gets with her, and then all of a sudden he makes music on the side, obviously, because it's a hobby, and all of a sudden he blows up, and everyone wants to sign him and stuff like that, and he's just kind of losing his identity almost, and questioning himself, questioning his sexuality, a whole bunch of things, and kind of going down a very bad path, that's drugs and like
very typical of musicians.
Yeah, very typical musician stuff. Drugs, sluttiness, and stuff like that. And then he like eventually like wraps it up, and like he's like, okay, I need to stop doing what I'm doing. I need to get myself clean. I need to take some therapy. I need to speak to this girl again who I broke the heart of, and try and make it work again. And that's pretty much what that album's about.
Okay, so it's about a musician. Normal-ish guy, doing stuff, trying to make music. It's a side thing. Starts to fall in love with a girl. In the middle, falling in love with a girl, he explodes.
Yeah.
And in the explosion, he starts to fall apart because, like, having that much success, fame, all of that stuff can really eat away at you. We've seen it with a ton of musicians. And so it's kind of about all of that. And then it sounds like... did you say that, like, his career starts to fall apart and he starts to fall back in love with her? Or is it something else?
No, he just kind of like wants to like just retire completely.
Oh, okay, so he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I know for a fact that we can make a short film about this. I say short because I'm not sure how many scenes we can write. I know that there's a lot of it in here, and we could make it towards essentially like a music video film, or you could make it a film that follows the story of the album. You could make it two different ways.
I was aiming for a music video film, yeah. Just each song, yeah.
Okay, that would be fucking long. But, I mean, I think the move with it, because this is a pretty long album, would be to do it kind of closer to, have you seen Vince Staples', I'm going to be mad at myself right now. So Vince Staples, he usually releases an album, and then he releases an EP, and then he releases an album, then he releases an EP. And he had one that came out, I think, after summertime 06. No, not Vince Summer. Started to type summertime 06. And it had kind of a darker theme to it. I mean, all of his albums have a darker theme to it. Prima Donna. So have you seen the music video for Prima Donna?
Oh, yeah.
It's like 10-ish minutes long,
yeah.
and it has pieces of all of the songs.
Oh, yeah.
The album itself is 21 minutes, but the video is about 12.
Yeah.
So it's about half the length, and it kind of encapsulates everything, and it gets you the motion. It's all of this stuff. I think that's what we should shoot for with something like this, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's something that actually intrigues me. I'm a very busy person, so I don't know how much I can actually make this happen, but I like the idea of it a lot. And I'm big on ideas, and I want to make ideas work. So don't get rid of that idea. Okay, so that's the whole concept for this album. Let's go track by track. Track 1.
Love Letter. Alright, this is where he starts to fall in love with this person. Where he like sees her for the first time.
Okay.
And like he's like, oh wow, I don't know how I feel because I just got out of being into something really bad.
Okay.
And so I don't know if I should fall in love again, but I really like this person. So like he's just kind of like questioning how he should feel because he's not quite sure because he really likes this person. But yeah, that's pretty much what Love Letter's about.
Okay, so what Love Letter's about. Before you jump on Love Letter, just like The Silver Scream by Ice Nine Kills.
Oh yeah, it's another like short like album like thing where it's like a whole album, but like each single from the album is kind of like a story too.
Okay.
It kind of like connects to the album.
Sick.
Or like another example is Fall Out Boy is the Youngblood Chronicles. Where,
I haven't heard that.
Which is a better album actually. Which is a better example for this because like each song off the album is a music video and explains a story. It makes a whole like short film, 42 minutes long, which is the length of the album. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what Love Letter's about. And
Perfect.
I Wrote You a Song is where he finally gets the guts to talk to this girl and tell her how he feels and stuff like that. And like,
pretty sweet.
He like tells her, he writes her a song and like how he should hang out with her. They like start to like talk to each other, like hang out all the time, and like they really start to fall for each other, and they get really close, and like that's pretty much what your song's about.
So it's him building up the guts, thinking about his old relationship, and now he's built up the guts, and he's like, I wrote you a song. It's kind of leaning into the fact that he's a musician, but he's all about this girl. Okay, it makes sense.
Shadow in Your Mind is where he gets the fame.
I remember liking this song a lot.
This is where I kind of like do like a screamo and like thing. Yeah.
I remember being like, this weird kind of works.
Shadow in Your Mind is where he gets the call for fame and like he starts to like explode. He's not quite sure what to do about it, so he's like wow, I'm getting all this attention. I wasn't expecting this attention this fast. I'm like, I just did one performance, so I was expecting to blow up this fast. And and he's like telling her, they're like, okay, I can still date you. Like telling the girl, I can still hang out with you and date you, and while I'm a musician, it'll be long distance, it'll be hard, but I can make it work this time. And that's pretty much what Shadow in Your Mind's about.
I like the title of this a lot. I also like the title of this leading into the next thing. So Shadow in Your Mind. So it's talking about how like he's becoming a shadow, a memory in her mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure. I like that a lot. I like the title. I like the choice. I actually like how it leads into the next song, which is
Reaper in My Mind, this is where he starts to kind of go crazy a little bit, where he's like, wow, I'm like losing myself here. Something's taking over me. I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm like, it's like a whole other identity that I haven't discovered quite yet. I don't know what's going on with me right now. And he kind of like breaks it off with her, and he doesn't know what to do with it. Compulsively, like just like breaks it off and like kind of like does the things I mentioned. Like does the drugs, does the sexuality questioning, does like everything. He's like not himself anymore in the song.
The follies of fame and success is essentially what this sounds like. And it's done, again, in kind of this, like, aggressive way, if I remember correctly. And it's nice because Shadow in Your Mind is, to a degree, foreshadowing Reaper in my mind, because the Reaper's tearing him apart and it's making it to where it's more realistic that he's just a shadow, just a memory in her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In Search of a Meaning is where, he lost himself. He knows it, and he doesn't know what to do, and so he's kind of, like, starts to, like, disappear. Kind of like do drug stuff. Kind of a good example of this is Iggy Pop after the Stooges.
Okay.
Like kind of like the
homeless, street rat.
Yeah.
Just a dog on the fucking street.
He's like trying to find himself again.
I can't get over how much I love Iggy Pop. Yeah. Like I keep going back and listening to Iggy Pop. I've listened to more Iggy Pop this month than I've listened to Lou Reed. I just keep being like, Iggy Pop. And I keep listening to like the weird ones, like his Spanish one. Also, I listened to that album the other day, like 2 days ago, and he has the two first songs in Spanish. And then the first song where he's singing in English, he's like, I'm the king of the dogs. And you're like, what? The beautiful, like, I'm the king of the dogs. Sorry, I wanted to bring it up. Little street dog. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much the Search of Meaning. He's just trying to find himself again. Neptune is where he's still doing drugs. He starts to hallucinate with the drugs he's taking. Mm-hmm. And he's like, wow, I'm just like floating in the air right now. I'm just like not present anymore. I'm just like I feel alive right now because of all the drugs I've been taking right now. Mm-hmm. So that's Neptune's pretty much just a hallucination of the drug. It's pretty much how he feels on the drug.
Why'd you pick the name Neptune?
Because like the way it sounds, the way the lyrics are, it kind of like describes like the facts about Neptune, which is like kind of odd because fun fact about me.
Okay.
Like I originally wrote the original draft for the song in astronomy, but I like kind of changed it up for this album, just about Neptune. But yeah.
Okay.
I just kind of kept the title because I liked it.
I mean, it's a cool title.
And Running Away.
Track 7
is when he's obviously running away, and he's like he's like going away. He's saving up his money. He saved up his money, and he is going to the mountains. He's just gonna hide it. He's just gonna hide himself from society.
Gonna hide in the mountains. Okay.
And he's just gonna live in the mountains, like just pretend he never exists. That's pretty much Running Away about.
Okay, I didn't actually know that. Interesting. Hiding in the mountains.
Yeah, a letter from you though.
Letter from you.
He's like in his house, right? Because he's like going back to get some supplies or something, and like he like sees the letter from the girl.
Yeah.
Clarity, who was like
the girl's name's Clarity.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one he fell for, and he's like, wow, I remember when she wrote this letter for me, and like it's really sweet. Like, man, I really regret losing her, and like I need to do everything I can to get her back. So that's pretty much what that's about.
So by track 7, he's already like, I'm done with this.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I just want to be sure. Okay.
I mean,
So very, very Iggy Pop.
there's more in detail about this in my 5 acts. So.
There is a lot of detail in the 5 acts.
Yeah.
This is better than listening to the 5 acts.
Yeah.
I promise you it is. Okay.
Searching for clarity is where he's searching for clarity. Yeah.
It's a little double entendre because her name's Clarity, but in looking for her, he's looking for clearness in his mind.
Yeah.
You know, he's looking for that clarity. Talk about it.
And that's pretty much it. That's literally it. It's just an instrumental track. It's like kind of like painting
Oh
a
wait,
picture.
I like this one a lot. How many instrumentals are on this? On this version, is there just the one, or is there multiple?
There's 2 instrumentals.
I like the instrumentals on
There's,
this.
One that's like there's like 2 that's like kind of instrumentals, like very little vocals.
Yeah.
That's about it. But yeah, searching for clarity is pretty much that's it. It just paints a picture in your mind about what you think he's doing to find her. So I try to do it.
I like the instrumentals on I think all of these a lot, and I think that you've gotten a lot better at making like your beats and creating things that work with what you want to do. And so I actually like this track quite a bit. Okay, track 10.
Carry On. This is the song I wrote with Jared.
Oh, you wrote this one with Jared?
Yeah, I like fixed it up a bit because like it was originally on my Valley mixtape, which was really bad as we established.
Yeah, it was not.
And I like fixed it up for this album to make it sound a little better. I kind of changed like the lyrics and like to fit with the like concept of the album, like
Yeah.
just the way that like Emerald Electric feels in this situation.
Okay.
Carry On is about him like still trying to find her, and like he's like, well, I need to do everything I can to get you. I don't care how you feel. I know I treated you bad, but I need to do everything I can to make this work. I need to be better. I need to do everything I can to make you happy. That's what Carry On's about.
Interesting. Okay. Track 11?
And Carry On actually talks about also
you got
like
some more
how he
Carry On,
talks
okay.
about like leaving like fame for her too. That's where he talks about that too.
Okay, so it's him. Okay, that makes sense.
Nightmare though. Track 11.
That's a good one.
This is where he like the girl like said, no, I'm not gonna take you back. Right, because of the way he treated me, and like
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was a huge piece of shit. Let's not get into this. Huge piece of shit. Wait, I'm gonna read this comment real quick. I do like this more. It has more conversation pieces. Openly speaking, I don't know if Jared would be adding or subtracting to the whole. Yeah, I don't know how many times has he listened to this stuff quite a bit.
No.
I've listened to I think all of your stuff at least twice. And I've listened to this album especially, like 3 or 4 times. And I've listened to Days of Sorrow and Regret, I think 5 or 6.
I think Jared's only heard this album and Days of Sorrow and Regret once. That's it.
Bro. I mean, I'm not #1 fan. I think I have the most listens, but that's a whole nother thing.
That was one of your top artists.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Thief, I think, is legitimately knows your stuff's the best out of any person, which I think is crazy. He's like, I'm gonna and we would like be in the car. He's like, Bright Blind released a new track. I was like, what? It's pretty good. I was like, is it? He's like, no, but I like it. Yeah, no, to this current stream, I don't think Jared would be adding anything to it because Jared doesn't really know anything about this. All right,
Nightmare. Yeah,
so good.
He's like kind of loses his mind again. He's like, wow, she doesn't want me anymore. I'm just like, what do I do now? It's like kind of like just like confused and lost.
His worst nightmare happened because he got the thing he wanted. He got the fame. It started to crumble. He started to do dumb shit. You realize, oh no, the only thing I want's her, and like that's his whole thing. And then like, what's your worst nightmare? If your whole thing is one thing, not getting that thing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's love. Especially as a human being who like, oh, he wants love. That's a fucking nightmare, man.
Yeah. Definitely, and yeah, that's kind of like what this song talks about. Yeah.
Okay, track 12. Track 12.
Who have I become? All right, this one is him reflecting on the decisions he made, and he's like, "Wow, I definitely." It's like I need to. He's where he starts to do rehab and stuff like that. He needs to change his ways and stuff like that, and like he's just He's still trying to get her back. Even after she denied him, he's still doing everything. He's like, wow, I really have messed up, and I need to really set my act straight, and just to make her happy. And she sees her again in the song, and she's like, yeah, man, you need some therapy or something like that because I can't help you.
So, again, weirdly mature content, especially for the modern era of people your age. Especially when you came out with this, especially when you're writing this, don't you break on me, stream!
No.
Don't you fucking break on me. Oh no.
Oh shit.
Come on, stream.
Come back.
Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I don't know the lyrics. Oh baby.
Probably coming back.
Oh baby, you got what I need. Let me give it a second. Oh, you say he's just a friend. Oh, you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you. Are we back? Yeah, not quite. Got what I need. Oh, you say he. Watch this get muted. You say he's just a friend. I think Bismarck, he died a couple years ago. Say he's just a friend. Woo, 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 woo. And we're back. You can't stop us, internet. We're going for anything. But what I was saying. I
was actually thinking about that song actually for the past few days.
Oh, Bismarck, we love you. Rest in peace, baby. I think he's dead. I don't actually know. What's interesting about this is for your age, for your generation, for your era, there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of emotional maturity in a lot of this stuff. Where you see people doing dumb shit, learning from it and growing. You don't actually see that a ton in music. You see a lot in music, shitty stories about shitty people being shitty and continuing to be shitty. It's extremely common in music. It's kind of a plague. MGK is being crowned the king of pop punk because he's a little less shitty.
That's trash.
Isn't that trash?
That's pure trash.
It's trash. But I understand why people are saying it. Yeah. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. But I understand why people are saying it. Because there are people out there making garbage songs about garbage stories about broken people and no growth. And about creepy situations, dating underage people, doing shitty things, having no remorse for it. All of that shit. And you're here making stuff, it's not perfect, it's not polished, but it's interesting and it's compelling. And you have visible character growth in this, and I think that's really interesting. Okay. Track 13.
Therapy. It's another instrumental where obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. He's just getting therapy.
I mean, I think it goes with the last one because you have Nightmare, it's where shit happens. Then you have Who Have I Become? It's him realizing, oh shit, I fucked up hard. I'm a homeless piece of garbage or whatever he is. I don't know exactly what I'm saying. And then he's like, oh, what are the steps to get her back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just actually made Letter From You connect, the Letter From You and all the way to Happy Ending connect very nicely. I did that, which was pretty nice. Made, especially Searching for Clarity and Carry On, they're tied in together perfectly.
Yeah. I actually think they do quite well. Bancho, are you saying that if we got Thief to be in music talk, or if we got Thief to make music? I'm curious what you mean, because now if we got Thief to do a music, be an interesting bit. I don't know what the fuck that means, my man. And it's just vague enough that it could go many different directions. Keep talking. He'll talk at some point.
It's kind of like a it's you're picturing. It's I want them to picture a montage of him doing therapy and him reflecting on everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I kind of imagine with the song, and yes, that's pretty much it. I was talking about it.
That makes sense. Okay. Track 14.
Untitled Journey. Alright. This is the one where he finds peace of mind, kind of. Where he's like, wow.
Finds peace of mind, okay.
He's like, yeah, well, I did therapy, and I kind of know who I am now. I still am willing to give this up for this girl because I really like this girl. And I just need her in my life. It's going to be a journey to get her back, but I'm going to do it. It's definitely possible. That's pretty much what Untitled Journey is about.
Again, it's pretty mature, and it's being willing to do the things that you need to do to get the things that you want.
Yeah.
And by things, this could be anything. In this particular story, it's a girl, it's a love, it's a connection. And I think there's something powerful about that. Do you have anything else about Untitled Journey?
No.
Okay. Track 15.
Oh, but I actually do have fun fact on Untitled Journey.
Okay.
I got my label name from the song. I originally recorded it in 2019 on my album Untitled Journey. I fixed it up a bit for this album again.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first album in 2019, the first 2019 album Untitled Journey was horrible. I hate that album. We don't talk about that album.
We don't talk about Untitled Journey here. We don't talk about it.
I took it off everything because I hate that album. It's one of those albums that we pretend it doesn't exist.
It would be interesting to have Thief on Music Talk. I would be down having anyone in the fam or anyone who's into music at all on this. I think it's interesting. If you can't tell, Music Talk is kind of the starting place for what would essentially just be a podcast of us talking about music. And what I think would be cool is we got to a point where we brought on actual other musicians besides you, because you're the only one who's been on here. Unless you want to count Jared because he's recorded some stuff, I wouldn't. I can't listen to it on Spotify. I'm not going to count that. Also, if Thief made music, Thief would make skate punk. That's just what Thief would make. That's what Thief would make.
That.
It's all he'd make. Thief loves skate punk. Thief would make skate punk that has a lot of anime influence. That's all he'd make. Yeah, right? She'd be down? All right. Now.
Purity. Track 15.
Purity. Track 15.
Purity is kind of like him. Oh, we got a commercial break. Before we talk about Purity, let's wait these commercials to go by.
Is that Ninja on my commercial break?
I think it is Ninja on your commercial break.
Oh, Ninja. Why are you alive? I don't mean that aggressively. I just don't understand.
Are we back? Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
All right. Purity now. This song ties into 2020 of COVID. The quarantine stuff like that. He talks about how the streets are empty. And how he's stuck, and he's stuck by himself, but he still has the goal in mind of what he wants, which is a girl, and he is just that's pretty much it. There's not much lyrics to the song. It's mostly an instrumental, but there's still a little bit of lyrics.
I'm telling you, I like your instrumentals. I think that you're getting the best at that part, and I think as you get better at that part, I think your concepts are actually probably the best. Then it's probably your beats. So your instrumentals are actually quite nice, and then making it cohesive is getting a little better, and then choosing how to do your vocals, how to do your this, how to do your that, to find your sound is also kind of getting interesting. Okay, track 16.
With You. All right. He speaks to the girl again, and he talks to her, tells her everything he's been doing. He's done everything she wanted him to do just to get her back, because he needs her, and he's definitely gonna give up fame just to be with her because he really likes her.
Okay.
And it's a final decision now in this one. And he's all right, I'm willing to do whatever. I just want you in my life again because I really love you and I really miss you. So,
okay.
And he's telling her let him inside her soul. Let him know what him leaving did to her, and how he can work on it and what he can do better.
Okay.
That's pretty much what With You is about.
That's what With You is about.
And Happy Ending, track 17. This is another one that's instrumental, but has one line that's a lyric where it just talks about marriage. He marries the girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big spoiler. I think in the story that is Love Letters from Emerald Electric. I think it's a pretty big spoiler. But what is the lyric?
As the wedding bells are ringing, I see your face, and I know love is alive. That's pretty much it.
I don't know if it's a haiku, because haikus are very specific, but it's roughly haiku length, and it's definitely a poem, if nothing else. A short-ass poem, but it's a poem nonetheless. And I think a spoken word poem and a 4.5-minute song can work quite well. And I haven't listened to it in a while, but I'm sure it does. Okay. Letters from Emerald Electric.
There's my discography that's out, I have 4 new tracks actually out on SoundCloud.
4 new tracks on SoundCloud. See, this is the thing. I never go on fucking
Yeah.
SoundCloud. I don't like SoundCloud. I don't like the way that it works. I hate trying to find the song that I'm looking for. I don't know what it is. This is probably me being an old ass man. Anytime something's on SoundCloud, I'm always gonna be like, is it somewhere else? Is it somewhere else? Can I listen to it anywhere else?
I'm working out a few kinks right now with Amuse right now, but like I plan on releasing the thing on Spotify like at least by April, if not by April, by summer.
Okay,
That's
not by April, by summer.
That's what I'm shooting for.
Okay, so Love Letters from Emerald Electric. What did you think about this album in hindsight? It's been a while since you released it.
Oh man, I actually really like this album. I still love this album. It's actually my favorite project I've worked on so far.
It's a cool project.
I love the concept and the story behind it, and I'd love to make another visual album, but like it's gonna take a while. Because,
Well, yeah, you need a story.
Yeah, but yeah, I think this is pretty good.
You know what you should do? This would be kind of fucked, but I would be really interested in you doing this. You should make an album about Jared. You should make an album where you're trying to understand Jared and you're trying to understand the choices he makes and his life. Because I think in it you would find some interesting things. And I think if you made that and then you had him listen to it and didn't tell him, that he would love it.
Yeah.
I can almost fucking guarantee you he'd love it. I don't know how, like, if you know all this stuff about him. I don't know if you know about, like, when he moved up to Portland and when he did this and when he did that. But there's enough stuff there. You could even just do it about that. You know, you remember when he, like, wanted to move up there and he wanted to do his thing? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
There's a lot there, and I think it could be interesting. Twitcher, you should do that. I'm not going to make an album about Jared, all right? That's not my place. I think it'd be cool if he did, though. I think it'd be pretty sick. I'd make an album about you. You want me to make an album about you, Bancho? I know enough about you. I can go hang out with your parents. Go ask them. They probably won't know the stuff I need to know, to be honest. Like, I don't know, man. Hey, I'm very open, Bancho, to making an album about you struggling with your sexual identity. We all do it at times, and that's okay.
Emerald Electric does.
Emerald Electric does. He gets it. And, you know, I can just title it something fun. We can title it something fun. We can title it Anthony. That would be a good one. That's a good album title, right? Anthony. I'm all about it.
Anthony
Okay.
By the Twitcher.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we start to kind of wrap? Because this has been kind of an interesting music talk. I actually like this format quite a bit. Just 2 people. The 3 works. It's not bad, but there's something nice about this. If I get married to a stripper, make you happy? Are you gonna get married to a stripper, Bancho? I mean, if you get married to a stripper, I better be a groomsman. I'd be such a good groomsman. Dude, we would carry you on a chair like a bat mitzvah, even though I know you're not Jewish, Bancho, and it would be fun. We would sing in Russian instead of Hebrew or Yiddish or whatever. It's probably Hebrew. We'd make it fun. Also, don't take the Lord's name in vain on here. All right, buddy. That's not what this channel's for, buddy. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
You down to hear a few snippets from the new album?
I mean, do you have snippets somewhere?
I do. I had the whole album actually, but
we're getting a little sneak peek.
it's finished, but
sneak peek from the album.
It's bound to be released.
Oh baby. Couple snippets from Brightblind's new album.
I'm gonna do.
Brighty, you gotta stop recording on your phone though. You recorded this on your phone, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're a psychopath.
But it came out.
Brightblind has recorded all of this music on his phone.
Turns out pretty well.
I don't even understand how it's like as good of quality as it is.
Oh shit! I'm still watching the stream. Fuck.
It blows me away how good the quality is on a lot of these things. And again, for your next project, you can record it in this room. I'll put up more soundproofing. We'll make it a little bit better. This mic is better, so much better than anything else you have. This mic is so much better than anything you have. That one's way better though.
I have this album's called In a Past Life, and you probably can't see it, but this is the album art I have so far.
Yeah, it's not gonna show up. It's gonna
Yeah.
show up like trash.
Yeah, it is just show up like trash. Oh, there you go. I kind of got it. You can barely see it.
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
gonna look like trash. It's because you're showing a phone to a camera. That very rarely looks.
Alright.
If I had a very high quality camera, that looks.
Alright, here's some. I'm gonna play each song as a snippet. I might play the single, the ones I already released a little longer, but I'll play a little.
All right. Look, snippets from what's the name of the album?
In a Past Life.
In a Past Life by Bright Light.
First track
Bright
called.
Blind.
First track is called "I Haven't Been the Best."
I haven't been the best. Put it just yeah.
I can't stand social media. No one knows who they good for us.
I might experiment a bit.
Ready for anything. So
Ooh.
prepared, so scared. I
Ooh.
don't want to party all night. I want to do something to run away from myself.
There you go.
Oh.
There's a little bit of "Haven't Been the Best."
Oh. We might have a new favorite album for the Twitcher by Bright Blind.
Next track.
Tippity.
Next
top.
track is "Don't Be Fooled by the Name," which is actually already released. I'll play a little bit more of the song.
Don't be fooled by the name.
Very pop, very punk influenced, very Iggy Pop influenced.
Last night you came as a picture buried deep inside my mind. It felt so real. I woke up with a smile on my face, and I remembered it's all a lie.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I like the first one more, but keep going.
"Pour Me Another Glass," which is my most psychedelic song I've released.
Pour
so far.
me another glass.
I'm gonna skip a little bit.
You're doing a lot of weird, like, sound electronic music
Yeah.
stuff. I
Actually,
like that you're doing it in kind of like a heartbeat style.
actually released the song too.
Oh, this one's released?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like a robot heart.
Next track is "In a Past Life." Oh, this is my favorite track. on the
Title
album.
track?
I love the song.
Title track, baby.
Let's get the long guitar intro.
This opportunity keeps passing me by. I didn't think life could be so tame. It's harder than what our childhood minds could comprehend. I thought I'd done it all,
Okay.
but I was too young to know.
There's "In a Past Life."
In a past life.
Next track is the one that I already released already, and it's the one I was influenced by Sabbath with.
Okay,
It's called-
influenced by
It's
Sabbath.
called "Another Soul."
Another Soul. I mean, yeah. I can already catch the influence, especially from is it Make Believe by Sabbath, I
Yep.
believe.
It's a song I recorded, and that song was in my head.
Used to know we haven't talked in quite some time.
Reminds me of one of your older tracks a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one.
Things I've liked, I never made my shot. Now I'm lost and without a home. Her name is what inspired me to write this song.
I'm always such a big fan of your beats. Like I like your beats more than I feel like I should. Like I really enjoy the beats quite a bit.
Next track is "Inside of My Mind." Oh, this is a weird one.
Side of My Mind
Sounds
by
weird.
Bright Blind.
I try to do like a very like grungy kind of like thing.
Inside of my mind lies a lonely soul with nowhere to go.
What room are you recording this? Are you recording this in your room?
Yep. Record the whole album in my room.
You got a good echo in that vocal, my man.
I can't stress enough how lonesome I feel inside of this fragile mind. You're in my life, but you're busy all the time. What?
Kind of some "What If" vibes.
Okay. Yeah.
Next.
It definitely has a little bit of What If vibes.
Next one is "She."
She. All right.
Did like a weird sound cut in this one, but let's get to the music.
I trust everything when she is near. I feel like a part of me lies within her soul. I just wanna live my life with her by my side.
the She snippet.
She snippet, little snippet of She.
Next one is Fly Away. Oh, this one's very, very new wave inspired. Very like gothic, like rock new wave inspired.
Definitely got a little gothic there.
Gets better.
Yeah, it does.
There's more lyrics. Try to find a lyric.
First track, I think is my favorite so far. I think this is my second favorite so far.
This one actually, this is probably one of my most catchy songs. This one pops in my head randomly. And this is one I record. This is one I released. This is the last one I released too, actually.
Alright, what do we got there?
The
Oh,
next
that
one is an instrumental, Into the Unknown.
Into the Unknown. That's a good title. That's a good track. Name.
Yeah, there's Into the Unknown. Next one is New Beginnings.
New Beginning. Ooh.
It ties into the Unknown.
I like that you have the bird sounds in there. Did you record the bird sounds yourself?
No, I did not.
You gotta start doing some found sounds, man. You just gotta walk in nature with a mic, my man. It's a nice bird sound.
Well, there's your short preview of In a Past Life.
Short preview of In a Past Life,
Only
the
10
upcoming
tracks.
project by Brightline.
Shortest project too.
10 tracks heavy, shortest project to date, will be coming out soon. Let's talk about Tyler, the Creator.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember we wanted to talk about our favorite songs off each album?
Oh, we got commercials.
Oh, we got a dang dong, dingy dee ding dang commercial. How well do you know Bastard?
I haven't heard Bastard since I was like 16, so I don't really know that album well.
Let me go through. I think my favorite song off Bastard is the title track. It's been a while since I've listened to Bastard. So I'll just say mine. Don't worry about yours. I know it's on here. Where are you at, Bastard? Albums. I assume it'd be near the top because its name is Bastard. Is it not here? Aww. Did I take it off my phone? I might have done it. Oh, here it is. I would say my favorite would be Bastard, probably followed by Inglorious, but I like Blow's pretty good, and Seven's pretty good. Pigs Fly, also a pretty good track. I'm not going to list them all. That was Bastard. Bastard by Tyler, the Creator. My favorite is the title track. Okay.
Now we got Goblin.
Now we got Goblin Boy. Do you know what your favorite track? Let's pull it up. Come on, buddy.
It's actually going to be surprising. Well, it's not really going to be that surprising, but it's going to be surprising. It's not going to be that surprising, but it is. It's not going to be. It's not going to be
that surprising.
It's not going to be surprising, but it is going to be surprising at the same time.
Damn, I hate you, phone. Every time I search Tyler, for some reason it pulls up Tyler Childers before it pulls up Tyler, the Creator, and that seems insane to me. I do like Tyler Childers, though. Don't shun Tyler Childers. Tyler Childers is quite good. Goblin. You got Goblin, you got Yonkers, you got Radicals, you got She, you got Transylvania, Nightmare, Troncat, Her,
Window's probably my
Sandwiches, Fish, Analog, BSD, Window, AU79, Golden, Burger, Untitled, 63, and Steak Sauce. I'm off of this. This is a hard one. There's a lot of good songs on here. Radicals, I think, is a standout. I think Yonkers is a song that got a lot of people into Tyler, the Creator, so I love it for that. I think it's very catchy. I think it's really cool. Definitely not my favorite off the album, though. Nightmare is fairly interesting. Troncat is kind of annoying, but also fairly interesting. But I think mine's Analog. I think my favorite off of this is Analog. I think my least favorite is easily Bitch Suck Dick. Fucking awful. It's maybe Tyler's worst song. It's not good. I do not like it.
Window's my favorite on the album.
Window's pretty good. Do you have a least favorite?
Yeah. Bitch suck dick.
Bitch Suck Dick. BSD as it's called on here now. I think they changed it because no one wanted to read Bitch Suck Dick as a song name. Wolf.
Oh man, it's gonna be a hard
Wolf. Wolf is the album that like I really started getting Tyler around. I saw Tyler during the Wolf tour. It's a great show. Okay. Wolf has Wolf, Jamba, Cowboy, Awkward, Domo 23, Answer, Slater, 48, Colossus, Party Isn't Over / Campfire / Beamer, IFHY, Pigs, Parking Lot, Rusty, Trashwang, Tree Home, 95, Tamale, and Lone. Do you have a favorite track?
Jamba.
Jamba's a good one. Oh man, I know this full album so well. My favorite song on this is Lone. I love Lone. Very impactful song about his grandmother passing away. Great song. Probably followed by 48. Probably closely followed by Answer. Ooh, yeah, maybe Tamale after that. I love this. I also like how Bastard, Goblin, and Wolf are kind of 3 albums that go together. Like it kind of feels like Tyler's imaginary characters playing through therapy. Like that's what it feels like. It's him going to like a school counselor and talking about a bunch of things. And I feel, doesn't he kill the therapist in one of them? Yeah. I think he actually kills them in Goblin, but then they're just there in Wolf. Whatever. Or maybe he's at a new school. It's the story of it. I don't fully remember, but I think he's maybe at a new school. Okay, Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb is definitely underrated from Tyler the Creator. The fact that people like Igor more than Cherry Bomb will forever make no sense to me.
That makes no sense to me.
Most people put Cherry Bomb at the bottom and put Igor at the top. Death Camp, Buffalo, Pilot, Run, Find Your Wings, Cherry Bomb, Blow My Load, Two-Seater, The Brown Stains. Oh, I gotta click. It's such a long title name. Stains of Darkies, Latifah, Part 6 through 12. Okay. Fucking Young / Perfect, Smuckers, Keep the O's, Okaga, California. Do you have a favorite track off
Smuckers.
Cherry Bomb? Smuckers is a hot fucking track. It's a good fucking track. It's like one of the best tracks that Tyler has probably put out. I think mine. This is hard. I really like this album. It might be Fucking Young. It might be Keep the O's. It might be The Brown Stains. I love this. I love this album. You know, I'm gonna go with Fucking Young / Perfect, and then my least favorite. I don't really think there's that weak of a song on here. Maybe Buffalo, but I don't think it's bad. It's an interesting album. Do you have a least favorite?
I was gonna say Buffalo as well.
Probably Buffalo. Okay. All right. Flower Boy.
This album, I love this album.
Flower Boy, baby. Forward, where this flower blooms sometimes. See you again. Who Dat Boy. Pothole. Garden Shed. Boredom. I Ain't Got Time. 9/11 / Mr. Lonely. Dropping Seeds. November. Glitter. Enjoy right now, today. And we already talked about this.
Yeah, Pothole followed by Boredom, followed by November.
Mine is November, followed by Enjoy Right Now Today. Probably followed by Dropping Seeds. This is a great, like, pop hip-hop album. Pop album. It's just so good. It also has a beautiful cover. It's a beautiful album. He's playing around with the sound more, and I love it. I love November. I love the sentiment of November. I could probably listen to that every day, and I did for a long time.
I actually keep on almost putting on my record every day, actually.
What is my least favorite? Might legitimately be Who Dat Boy.
Oh, I love Who Dat Boy.
It's great. It might be Who Dat Boy.
Mine might be I Ain't Get Time. I still love that song.
I like the whole album. It's hard to
Yeah.
pick a favorite. Igor.
I've only heard this album twice.
I've heard Igor a number of times because I kept trying to listen to it to like it more because I love Tyler the Creator. And I don't think it's a bad album. Listen to me and me saying I don't think it's a bad album. But I just don't like it the same way that I like his other music.
I mean, actually, especially after going to this album, thinking about Flower Boy, it's such a downgrade.
I think it's a transition piece.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because he's going from like pop to pop.
Yeah.
And it's like alt pop. It's kind of like weird pop. It's kind of like interesting pop. And there's a lot of influences from like really interesting music. And there's a lot of like dense music in here that's actually quite layered, quite interesting, and emotionally interesting. And the story of it is really cool. I just don't like it even close to the way that I like his other albums. Like, it doesn't impact me the same way, but that's because I have different influences. And I'll say this on the stream many times. Maybe I'm not ready for it yet. Maybe I'm not in a point in my life where this is going to hit me the same way. Maybe something is going to happen to me at some point where I listen to something like, fuck, he got it.
You never know.
Got it. You never know. But Igor's theme, Earthquake, I think exactly what you run from,
Exactly what you run from, you end up chasing.
you end up chasing. There you go. Exactly what you end up chasing. I love Gerard Carmichael. I love that he has Gerard Carmichael on here. Gerard Carmichael is one of the funniest comedians currently doing anything. Probably one of the funniest comedians of all time. If you don't know who Gerard Carmichael is, go fuck yourself. Go listen to Gerard Carmichael. Get out there. Listen to some good stuff, all right? Okay. Running Out of Time, New Magic Wand, A Boy Is a Gun, Puppet, What's Good, Gone Gone, Thank You, I Don't Love You Anymore, Are We Still Friends? Do you have a favorite song?
A Boy Is a Gun.
A Boy Is a Gun, I feel like is an easy pick, and I want to say it, but I think Are We Still Friends is my favorite song. And I don't want to count exactly what you're running from, is exactly what you're chasing, but I do like Gerard Carmichael, and I think it's a fun, tiny interlude. My least favorite song, I think, is New Magic Wand.
Mine might be Earthquake.
I think you just dislike Earthquake because it's the most popular song in the album. And I think that's a typical thing from you. But that's its own thing. Okay, Call Me If You Get Lost. This I've gone into detail about. I've talked about pretty extensively. I still have the same opinion. Do you have a favorite song? So Call Me If You Get Lost, in case you don't know, Sir Baudelaire, Corso, Lemonhead, What's Your Name, Lumberjack, Hot Wind Blows, Massa, Running Up, Manifesto, Sweet / I Thought You Wanted to Dance, I think is what it is. Yeah, I Thought You Wanted to Dance. Mama Talk. Mama Talk's a great interlude. Rise, Blessed, Juggernaut, Wilshire, and Safari. Do you have a favorite track?
Whew. Probably Hot Wind Blows.
Hot Wind Blows is fucking fire. It's a
Yeah.
good one. I also love that he's gotten Lil Wayne as a feature on multiple albums, and there's some of Lil Wayne's best
Oh, yeah,
features.
yeah.
There's some of Lil Wayne's best features that he's put out, and they're on Tyler albums. My favorite is still probably Massa, and it's probably pretty closely followed by Manifesto, and then probably pretty closely followed by Wilshire. It's like Massa, Manifesto, and Wilshire is probably at the same level as Manifesto, and then everything else is probably here range, just like slightly below it. I love Mama Talk. I think it really gives you an insight to like who Tyler is, who his family is, who his mother is, because there is some insight into that in other albums, but not to this extent. Phenomenal album. Least favorite song?
Whew. Might be Lemonhead. I still love that song.
Mine's probably What's Your Name.
Oh.
What's Your Name? That's Tyler the Creator. That's Tyler the Creator. So, this is the first time we've done a music talk like this. This is the first time where we've actually like gone into detail and kind of deconstructed some stuff. And I'd actually like to do something like this more, because we talk a lot about music.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, it's music talk. I mean,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But when we talk about stuff and we go through albums, we do stuff, we're not like actually deconstructing the meaning, the way it made us feel. We don't do that a lot.
We do not.
And I'd actually like to do that.
I'd love to do that a lot.
I think
more,
there'd be something to where we continue doing a lot of the stuff we're doing, but then like when we do album of the week, how about we actually break down the fucking album?
Sounds
How about
good.
we listen to it enough times, because I'm going to listen to it a number of times, where we can actually like go through, talk about like the concept of them, if there's a concept, talk about kind of like the genre it's in, talk about each track if we want to, and kind of break it down. I also like that we're doing this thing where we're going to talk about Distant Relatives by Nas and Damian Marley, and then we're going to follow it up and talk about Watch the Throne by Jay-Z and Kanye West, because very similar genres of rappers doing collab albums with very different artists at roughly the same time, and to very different results at the end album. And I think it'll be fascinating to kind of compare, contrast, talk about the album separately and talk about them together, and then talk about which ones we prefer, because it'll be interesting to see the differences in our opinion and how that kind of affects the way that we look at music. Because there's definitely a difference in the way that I look at music compared to the way that you look at music, definitely compared to the way that Jared looks at music. Like, you and Jared have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
I don't think I have very many of the same similarities that you guys have. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff that I'm listening to a shit ton of rap. Whereas you guys listen to a lot more, like, new wave, you listen to a lot more potentially metal, pop punk, post-punk, skate punk, stuff like that. I'm not listening to much of that at all. And I like it. I just prioritize new rap. I love rap. Rap and folk will always be my bread and butter. And yours is like psychedelic and like the alternative forms of punk.
Yeah.
That's kind of like where you sit. Whereas Jared's kind of like metal and the alternative forms of metal. And I don't even know what I would put as like a secondary, like probably pop music. Like he loves pop music.
He does.
Jared fucking loves pop music as much as he might not admit. He'll admit it. He fucking loves pop music. He does. He really does. I like alt pop, weird pop. He fucking Taylor Swift is one of his favorite musicians. Like, you can't not love pop music and love Taylor Swift the way that Jared loves Taylor Swift. And there's nothing wrong with loving Taylor Swift. You love Allie and AJ. Like, there's probably someone that I love. You're like, what the fuck? What? Huh? Who? Huh? And that's okay, because you're allowed to like what you like. He loves the Swiftster. Yeah, he does. He does. But I'd like to do something like this again in the future. But this has been Music Talk. Bright Blank, do you have anything you want to say before we go?
Stream my new songs on SoundCloud.
Stream his new songs on SoundCloud. Thanks to Brightblind for being here. Thanks to Tala for being here. As always, I'm the Twitcher. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today is day 319 of me streaming every single day. This has been Music Talk. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, bye, bye.